This might be my hottest take ever. All right, when we look at the topic of idols, friends, we think of the easy things. Phone. Oh, my phone's my idol. Sometimes we look at work. Oh, work's my idol. But sometimes I think with especially in this younger generation, we have this identity. Oh, that's the kid who plays sports. Oh, that's the not popular kid. That's the one who's smart. That's the one who's athletic. That's the one who's pretty. That's the one who's whatever. We have these 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 identities that we find ourselves in. But what about this one? And I'm speaking especially to this younger generation, my generation. When we see self-harm on the TV, or when we see someone depressed on the TV and we think that's cool, so we go to school the next day and go, "Oh, I'm tired. I'm depressed." And we kind of throw this word around of I'm depressed, or I'm tired, or I'm anxious, or I'm doing self-harm, or I'm doing all of this stuff. When we're throwing these words around, friends, we're bringing that identity onto us. We're bringing that identity onto us. And then you don't want to get better, friends. And I understand. I don't mean this out of a place of judgment. But sometimes when we tell ourselves, I'm depressed or I'm tired every day, we feel like we don't even want to get better at this point because it's normal. We don't want to get better at this point because it feels normal and it feels comfortable. Friends, depression, sadness, anxiety, yes, it's normal in this day and age. But it's not normal to sit in it, friends. It's not normal to let it take over your identity. Because when we look at the identity of Christ and what he says about us, he says, you're priceless, you matter, you're loved, you're worth it. He says these things about you that you may speak different things over yourself. You may speak, oh, I'm ugly, or I'm tired, or I'm all of this stuff. But no. But it gets to this point where you're so used to saying, I'm ugly, or I'm tired, or I'm depressed, that it feels comfortable. And friends, that's the dangerous part, is when it feels comfortable. Is when you don't know another feeling than tired, or when you don't know another feeling than depressed. That's when it becomes dangerous, friends. So what do we do? The best example I could give you is Judas and Peter in the Bible. Two characters that had the same sin, essentially, but they both took different routes. Okay? Both Peter and Judas were told exactly what they were going to do by Jesus. Jesus said, Peter, you'll deny me 3 times. And somebody here will betray me. Speaking to Judas. They were both told what they were going to do. And they both said, oh, no, it's not me. I'd never do that. So they both had the same thing. They both were told what they were going to do. But when Peter did it, yes, he ran off and he kind of went in shame a little bit. But he didn't give up on Jesus. Judas went off, shame and guilt, let Satan take over his heart, took his own life. But Peter, I want to specifically focus us on Peter, because Peter surrounded himself with the disciples still seeking after Jesus, still wanting Jesus. We need to want Jesus more than we want our own bodies. We need to want Jesus more than we want that drug. We need to want Jesus more than we want that relationship. We need to want Jesus more than everything. More than all of your addictions. More of all the sin you go back to. More of all the things of the world that you want. We need Jesus more. That's who we need in times when we fall and when we sin. Jesus is the thing that we need to go back to run back to when things get hard. Not the friends that just give you a cigarette. Not the private browser at 10 p.m. that'll just leave you tired again. Not the drugs and alcohol that'll just make you feel buzzed for just a couple hours. Not that one hookup that the devil made you feel bad about the night before. No, friends, we need to fall on Jesus. We need to say, I can't do it anymore, Jesus. I can't do it in my own power. I can't do it. So take it. So take it. We need to physically sometimes give it to Jesus. Give everything to Jesus. Oh, I'm depressed. Give it to Jesus. Oh, I'm tired. Give it to Jesus. And yes, I know it's not easy. I know it takes some time to build that callus. But just like you built that callus, that sin that you thought was freedom until you try to break free, just like that, we need to build this callus to Jesus that whenever we're feeling sad, we don't just go, man, this is your fault, God. But instead, we say, no, God, this isn't your fault. I don't know what's wrong, but I will trust you anyways. Trust is the number one thing, friends. Trust and falling on Jesus, because just give it one try. Give Jesus one try. 100% trust and 100% faith. And see what happens. See what happens. Build that callus with Jesus. Friends, I know it works. Because he promises peace. He promises to have a friend that you don't need to schedule a time with just to meet. A friend that you could talk to any time of the day. A friend that truly cares about you, and a friend that won't bring up your dirt. A friend that won't just be like, oh, but you're the same person who did this, right? You're the same person who hooked up last night, right? And you want to come to me? No, Jesus isn't that type. He'll forget about it. He throws all of our sin and all of our dirt in the fire. And he forgets about it. Never brings it up again. Never shoves it in our face again. That's the amazing thing about Jesus. Is Satan? He'll see every single sin you do and bring it up to you because he wants you to stay in that place. Satan will be like, oh, you hooked up with that person? Why would you do that? But go do it again. Oh, you got drunk again. Well, you're sad now, so go do it again because it feels normal. And then I'll go, and then the morning you wake up, I'll go shove it in your face. But Jesus, when we go to him, oh, I got drunk again. Jesus, I'm sorry. I got drunk again. I hooked up again. I smoked a cigarette again. I did all this, and that. But Jesus said, you're still my child. Jesus says, I still love you. Jesus says, go and sin no more. Go and sin no more. What this means, we pick up our cross. We carry our cross. Pick up the baggage. Pick up the sin. Carry it. Carry it. And then give it to Jesus. We're taking it to him. Jesus saw the times that you thought you were dumb. Jesus saw the sin that you fell into 8 times. Jesus saw that self-harm. Jesus saw all of this stuff that you think that you think Jesus won't want anymore. But Jesus saw all of you. He saw your birth and your death at the same time, and he still died for you. He didn't just say, "Oh, this person's way too far gone, so I'm not going to die. Why would I die for that person?" No, my friends, if you were the last person on earth and there was nobody else, Jesus would still die for you. he would still die for you. So let's find our identity in who Jesus says we are. Not the things that we like to throw on ourselves. I'm tired. I'm depressed. I'm anxious. I'm dumb. I find my identity in sports. So if I fail at a sport, I'm worthless. I find my identity in this relationship. So if this person breaks up with me, I'm worthless. Let's find our identity in Jesus. Not our identity in things of the world, friends. Because I tried it. I tried finding my identity in things of the world. Attention. I tried finding these things. Depression. I tried finding my identity in these things. And when you find your identity in a certain thing, those become an idol, friends. When you find your identity in being this depressed, anxious, self-harming kid, well, mental health, my friend, is your idol. You're making that your idol, and that's what's a hot take. Oh, but I don't have this control of what happens to me. I don't have this control of. But my friends, if you go to school the next day and you're just saying that you're depressed every other word, you're speaking it over you. You're speaking the words over you. Let Jesus speak his words over you, because those are what matters. The words of other people, the words of the relationship that you're in, the words of social media, all spoken over you. No. Those do not matter. Those aren't true. Okay? Jesus saw your life and death at the same time, and he still died for you. He saw all that, all your dirt, all the times you would fall again, all your sin, all the times you would make fun of Jesus, maybe, all the times that you would do witchcraft, maybe, all the times that you would do all of this stuff, but he still died for you. He knew that you would maybe even hate Jesus. You might hate Jesus right now, and he might see that, and he saw that when he died on the cross. He saw that you would hate him when he died on the cross, but he still died for you. He didn't just die for everyone else and exclude you. No. All of our sin is paid in full. All of our debt, all of our sin debt, all of the times that we would hate Jesus, all the times that we would make fun of Christians, all that debt is washed gone. All of it, friends. So we don't have to live in shame and guilt anymore, because we have our identity in Jesus. So be careful what you let speak over you. Including if it's a parent, friends. A parent could speak over things too. You're so dumb. Do better. You'll never be good enough. Do better. You'll never compare to your brother. Do better. You'll never compare to your sister. Do better. You'll never compare to whoever. Your parents could be speaking things over you too. So open this Bible and see what Jesus has to do for you. Read Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John. Read the Gospels and see how much Jesus loves you. See his lifespan. It's like a biography of this historical person who really lived. And he died for you. He died for you. The person who would hate him, the person who sins all the time, the person who cusses, the person who tried witchcraft, the person who tried self-harm, the person who tried to cut their story short, but Jesus still saved you. He still died for you. Still, he saw all your struggles, and he still died for you because of how much love he had for you. So find your identity in Christ, friends. That's all I ask. I love you guys. Have an amazing Monday.